Bad Empanada is a known doxer and harasser. If you go on his Twitter account at any time, you could see him doxing people. He's probably the most famous for being the one who claimed he called CPS on Ethan and Gila. He's constantly encouraged and defended people doing it. He literally opened up a CPS merch line because he thinks it's so funny.
Got a hat. I did CPS. The CPS logo with the two skulls, of course. Two skulls. Not a reference to anything in particular.
He knowingly defames people. In my last video, I pointed out that Bad Empanada constantly claims that Lonerbox's dad was part of a militia group that killed a bunch of civilians. No evidence for it. His response is to give the most forced laugh I've ever heard. And then he just doubles down on everything he made up.
He complains that I called Lonerbox. That I said, that Lonerbox's dad participated in the Sabra and Shatila massacre, which he absolutely did, by the way. Lonerbox has never disproven this. Until he disproves it, it's true.
So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that when my dox gets found, Bad Empanada immediately posted everywhere. Uploads a video blasting my name, my bride's name, the address of her wedding, all over the internet. It's also come out that he's swatting people, filing fake police reports, all while plugging his Patreon. So I figured if he's making money off of my dox, I should too. So thank you, Exter, for helping me cope. Do you have a big, fat, bulky wallet that's worn and beat down like this? Is your friend or family member living with the same burdens in life? Well, not anymore, because Exker is making the smartest wallets in the game. I've been using Exker for about a month now, and this thing is slick. You got this high quality leather, a place to put a picture or some cash, and at the click of a button, you got access to all your cards. It never gets old. I haven't lost my wallet the entire time because I've been using the Exker Finder card. It's literally shaped like a credit card. It fits seamlessly into my wallet, and like all great wallets, it comes in a variety of different colors and designs. So no matter who you are, you can find the one that suits you. Exter also sent me this travel pack vacuum kit. This little thing's the vacuum. I have this big pile of clothes. I squeezed all of these clothes in. It barely zips up. The vacuum attaches here and boom, it's like 25% of the size. It will fit much better in your suitcase or backpack. From wallets and key cases to backpacks and card trackers, Exter does it all in a stylish and convenient way. So make sure you use code WillyMacShow at partner.exter.com/WillyMacShow 2025 to get up to 42% off your order. Thank you, Exter, for sponsoring this video. So where were we? Oh yeah, Bad Empanada fabricating entire background stories about me and my wife.
A certain slop tuber who does nothing but make videos in which he attacks pro-Palestinian people and de facto, as a result of that, helps to further Israel's genocide in Gaza, has been outed as having been honeypotted by Israel. Israel is literally assigning slop tubers government-assigned Israeli wives.
Man, Mossad's really good at their job, because me and my girl started dating 8 years ago when I was still a nobody on YouTube.
So the slop tuber in question is WillyMacShow. He's suddenly making pro-Israel content constantly. He's suddenly making nothing but videos attacking pro-Palestine people.
I covered Hasan before all this. It just turns out a war starting in the Middle East didn't make him any better at covering the news. So guess what? I was able to make more YouTube videos. He never addresses my actual points. It's just character assassinations for why I should be doxxed. Bad Empanada then doxes another YouTuber with the justification that he's a Nazi and that it's for journalistic interest. And then he says that's why it's important to dox me and my wife because she's Israeli.
You're actually allowed to reveal personal information about people, especially their real names, if it's within journalistic interest. You know, if there is journalistic reason for doing so. And exposing a clear conflict of interest in this guy's content and his personal life is journalistic interest. It's why, for example, I can tell you that the YouTuber Zoomer Historian, a neo-Nazi history YouTuber, is this guy. I can tell you this because it is within journalistic interest to do so, even though he did not release his information himself publicly. Just like how I can tell you that WillyMacShow is William McConville, and he is getting married to a Yale. Now, I am not going to give you the full name of the person he's getting married to.
He literally just scrolled down and showed her full name. I reported the video and he added this little blur, but it still doesn't cover her name.
She is Israeli and she was assigned to him by the Israeli government. They've taken down this page, but as you can see, it is freely available on Google. They, for some reason, as the guy who is a public figure, decided to just publicly announce in public his wedding.
How is this allowed on YouTube? He does this thing where he constantly tries to justify his reason for doxing me. He's like Ethan doxed Denims when he sued them.
This guy has no right to complain about revealing his real name to be doxing. Because WillyMacShow went on the H3 podcast, which is a podcast that frequently doxes people. In Ethan's recent video talking about his lawsuit against 3 young women, he included unredacted legal filings that he made that include their real names and their real locations.
That's just how legal filings work.
Here's a video clip of Ethan Klein doxing a random Instagram commenter on his show. Ethan goes through the guy's Instagram, brings up pictures of his family members.
A commenter commented from their Instagram account with their full name talking trash to Ethan. It had loads of pictures of them and their family on it. I didn't get sued. I didn't comment on your video with my full name. At the end of the day, my crimes are marrying a Jew and going on a podcast. He's nonstop lying about me and my wife, saying she was in the IDF. His fans are saying she murdered babies. He's saying propagandists should die as he's calling me a paid propagandist. They're saying we're valid targets. He posted a photo of what he thinks is my wife in the IDF, but they're actually just pictures of random teenage girls. I asked my wife what this was, and she thinks it's the Israeli Girl Scouts, so he's just posting little girls on Twitter. My wife didn't serve in the IDF. She came over here at 3 years old. On top of it, he doesn't even know her politics on that situation. He's just being racist. But the worst thing he did was post the date and address of our wedding the week before it took place. He does it multiple times throughout the video, showing an archived page of our site, because we did take it down to try and hide it, but nope, there it is. The time, the date, the address.
Yale and William McConville are getting married very soon. Yale, who is Israeli and Israeli government-provided wife.
So now our wedding is being messed with, and they are wasting the time of our venue, the hotel, and 2 police stations. It's costing me thousands of extra dollars in insurance and potentially closing down the entire building, and my bride is coming up to me and asking me if we're about to be double homicided at her wedding. I'm like, no baby, these people don't leave their mom's basements, but she sees the news. She saw 2 low-level staffers at the Israeli embassy get shot and killed. She's worried. So I'm being told by the police that I should go online and see if there's any direct threat. And I see a video made by a guy who hates me, showing all of my information and giving a hypothetical where I'm a valid target because Destiny's a hypocrite.
Stevie said anything involving this Bad Empanada guy or anyone that supports him is justifiable, ammo. Anything is justified against Bad Empanada and anyone that supports him. Let's apply those standards. Why are we saying this about Bad Empanada? Well, it appears to be because Bad Empanada doxed WillyMac's wife. So, would Destiny be saying that those who dox people, those who make calls to violence or allusions to violence, should be fair game, and all of their supporters, all the personalities that back them up, all the chatters that back him up?
This is essentially a Destiny snark community. This guy's narrative for the past 6 months is that I'm covering for Destiny despite me making 2 of the most in-depth videos criticizing him. Their evidence behind this is I said Destiny is better at covering the news than Hasan and Vosh, which is somebody who has made videos on all 3 of these people. I think that's objectively true, but I digress. But most importantly, it's that when these 2 do something stupid, I make fun of them back. The truth is, Bad Empanada did not originate my docs. He maliciously spread it everywhere, but my docs originated on a niche forum by this guy's unhinged viewers. So when I see this clip, it's obviously a dog whistle to fuck with me. He literally gets a donation that says, I understand what we must do. Wink, wink.
Anything is justifiable against Destiny and the people who support him. No? Is that not the standard? That's what he's laying out for me here. Now, I have principles. I don't think it's no bad tactics, only bad targets. That's not me.
As he's literally showing my docs.
But Destiny is very clearly laying out that those are the standards that he believes in. Those are the standards he wishes to be enforced. Is if you're a doxer, if you call for violence, anything is justifiable against you and your supporters.
Order taken.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying, Max, actually. I just explicitly said otherwise, actually, Max.
He's got a shit-eating grin on his face. He knows what he's doing. This then gets retweeted by his friend J-Stock, who pushed the exact same narratives about me. I'm obviously very unhappy about this. It's affecting my real life, but instead of anyone actually acknowledging this, they do what Bad Empanada did and try to hypocrisy hunt to justify their actions. They're like, why aren't you mad at Destiny? He quote-tweeted your docs too.
Why aren't you mad at Destiny himself?
Destiny's defending my already viral docs that's already in the hands of all of the people who hate me. We're acting like context and scale don't matter. It was actually kind of nice to see someone with a big audience who I've criticized in the past stand up for me and say this is wrong. But look at this comment. Willy refuses to acknowledge the obvious, that Destiny is the biggest proponent in spreading his docs. No, it was actually Bad Empanada who did that. Do you know how time works? They hate Destiny so much they're ignoring the very reality we live in. That's what I don't get at all. Is he perfectly fine with his docs being spread around as long as the person who's spreading it is condemning it? At this point, my docs is already spread. The toothpaste is out of the bottle. What bothered me most in this moment was the narrative that I deserve it, or that it's part of some greater Destiny justice. If Queeman pulled up my docs and only said Bad Empanada sucks for this, I wouldn't care. It's the dog whistle call to action that's the problem. It's so obvious, yet I'm seeing respected commentator Augie call me a hypocrite because I said doxing is wrong.
This is from a month ago. Willy says, you should delete this. It's just doxing and a shit thing to do to someone whose worst crime is being annoying on the internet. So you have that situation there. So there is twice replying to JSOC's docs, but then he got upset about fucking his docs being shared.
Yeah, holy shit, it's as if context matters. It's as if me calling out a tweet that already has 100,000 views doesn't add any negative effect. He pearl clutches and gives this big performance about my quote tweet.
I showed you 2 times. Here he is doing it a 3rd time just a few days ago before I even did this stream. And I actually had to like tell him, I was like, dude, delete this shit, right?
But on this same stream, Augie shows the uncensored link of JStock's docs. He also replied under JStock's docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to justify what's happening to me. Augie acts confused throughout this entire segment.
Literally days after he threw a hissy fit. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense to me. It's like, what the f are we talking about here? I mean, what argument are we making here? This is just crazy. It makes no sense.
I know why he's confused. It's because he never plays the original clip that made me mad in the first place. He just summarizes as they criticize Destiny, and that's why Willy's mad.
Too bothered by this, but instead he was bothered by some stuff that Queeman and JStock were saying. And basically what they were saying was it's kind of hypocritical for Destiny to get upset at, you know, WillyMac for getting doxxed when he has a history of doxing people and is currently right now calling for their doxes, right?
So he never plays the context and then acts like the reason I'm mad is because they called Destiny a hypocrite. Nothing about my wedding or my bride. How is that possible unless you're being bad faith? I'm not even sure if Augie knows what a dog whistle is. He's like, unless Queeman pulls up Willy's docs and then says, I love doxing Willy, it's all fine.
This isn't really a point against WillyMac. It was mainly a point against Destiny. I don't think at any point Queeman was like, yeah, and he got doxed and I love that. You know? I don't think he ever said that, right?
Bro, if you're this stupid, make life better for everybody and just quit. Destiny has recently doxed JStock and Queeman. His motivation behind this is that everyone they associate with him ends up getting doxed and harassed, so he's doing it back to them. The victims I know are Destiny's girlfriend, Dan Saltman and his family, me and my wife, Hutch and his family. Augie pulls up Destiny's employees saying she was swatted.
I was also swatted. Now, why would she be saying that she was also swatted in a reply to this clip? Is she saying that JStock and Queeman had some part in her getting swatted? Or that their communities had some part in this?
Yes, obviously, but it's all just a coincidence to Augie. Augie pulls up another example of a Destiny viewer saying they're getting threatening letters sent to their house, and Destiny's like, I don't believe them, but even if that happened, it's still not that community's fault.
A couple months ago, because I'm a fan of Destiny in the JStock server, someone in his community sent a letter to my home. I've moved since then. Thanks for telling us, by the way. To my house saying I defend Destiny because I want to rape my wife and my patients. I'm gonna put an X to doubt on that one. And even if it did happen, right? Who's responsible for that?
What about the guy dog whistling that I'm a valid target and getting a dono saying they understand his orders?
Anything is justifiable against Destiny and the people who support him.
I don't think creators are responsible for every one of their unhinged viewers, but it is not normal for a community this small to have so much doxing coming out of it. I've made videos on communists, Nazis, misogynists, feminists, scammers, and traffickers. People with millions of followers, yet this tiny little community is where all this doxing takes place and it's just out of their hands. Dude, they're obviously feeding into it, but Augie knows nothing. He can't even recite me goofing on them accurately. JStock has criticized Destiny for creating a metaphorical rape machine, partially because he had sex with BPD girls. Then when these girls call him out for being abusive, everyone thinks they're just crazy. JStock then had sex with the same BPD girl.
Everything Destiny's saying here is true. Actually, it's not true. Actually, everything Destiny's saying here is complete bullshit. Destiny says, and to think that this was the same guy, JStock Jewstalker, who spent the last year saying having sex with mentally ill people equals rape. Crazy, huh? No, you f***ing retard. That was never the argument that you have sex with mentally ill people, that means you're raping them by default. The argument is that you don't give a fuck about their consent because you'll share their images, videos of them doing all kinds of sexual stuff. You'll share that with anyone.
No, Augie, JStock actually specifically said it's not about sharing images.
I think that the main talking point is that Destiny distributes people's nudes. And like, it's like a weird
I think that's not the main talking point. I think one of the a massive talking point here is the infinite rape machine, okay? How does the infinite rape machine work? It's a massive talking point. Which you'd know if if you watch the Sunday video, it's not just about nudes, bro. It's about a system that let this happen for so long.
And what does Sunday say? Part of the machine is Destiny targeting mentally ill women.
And the victims are also selected, either for mental illness, allowing them to be easily construed as hysterical or deceptive when they complain about their treatment.
So when it leaks that J-Stalk is having a secret relationship with the same BPD girl and she crashes out on him multiple times, it's funny. I'm giving him shit. I'm allowed to talk shit back to these people. I talked to Augie about the same exact thing a month ago and told him if he wanted to find it, he could just watch the ending to my second Destiny video. But he didn't watch it. He'd rather make stuff up. Bro, you're sitting at a computer right now. Feel free to use it. Augie ends this hour-long segment on me, summarizing that the only reason I'd be mad is because I'm stupid or because Destiny controls me, feeding into the narrative that got me doxxed in the first place.
It's hard to, like, logically understand why he's posting this shit. I mean, the two options is literally just he's, like, brain dead retarded right now, or he's controlled opposition.
Really? That's all you could think of? Well, let me give you a third option. Our wedding is having to prepare for fake bomb threats, and my bride is worried about us and our family getting shot. Augie never once brings this up as a possibility for why I'm frustrated. It doesn't cross his mind. Seriously, if that's the extent of your analysis, you need to quit. In my last conversation with Augie, he told me a story about how he quit drama for a year because a guy named Salvo was doxing and harassing him and his family. So where is that same sympathy when it's happening to me and my wife? He shares the same empathy meter with Ian.
You know, my empathy meter's only maybe like a quarter of the way filled up.
The most reassuring news I got was when my wedding planner told me that she talked to the venue and they told her that the riffraff doesn't bother them because they've done celebrity weddings and that they're in a Jewish neighborhood, so they're used to getting calls like this. In one sense, very reassuring because it means our venue wasn't spooked, and in another sense, very depressing because it means people are just calling and harassing this place because they're in a Jewish neighborhood. I don't know what should happen when it comes to Destiny or a snark community doxing each other and others, but what I do know is Bad Empanada needs to be banned. He nonstop slanders people, doxes people, and harasses them. He recently swatted Kraut by falsely reporting him to the Austrian police for hacking his alt Twitter accounts. I don't think they were ever hacked at all.
Basically, he accuses me of hacking. Bad Empanada accuses me of hacking. Specifically, he accuses me of hacking 15 of his banned Twitter accounts.
His evidence of Kraut hacking him comes from a tweet where Kraut says he's archiving his accounts. That's literally it.
This here is the central claim. He claims, I got illegal access to 15 of his 22 temporarily banned X accounts. Well, what did I tweet? I tweet, yeah, we managed to get archive files containing everything Bad Empanada tweeted with 15 of his 22 suspended accounts. Well, how did we get this? We went to Wayback Machine and typed in his accounts.
So f***ing obviously is not you hacking him. He's saying that tweet is evidence that he was hacked.
Yes.
Bad Empanada actually just uploaded a video on why he thinks his police report was justified, and in it, he just reads his complaint.
So this is probably the most serious thing that he did, in that he publicly implied that he had hacked my social media accounts and obtained private information about me that is otherwise inaccessible from doing so, and that he was going to go through it and share it.
Hey, no neck, he's talking about the public tweets you posted. Oh yeah, this tweet where Crouch says he's going to screenshot the unhinged stuff I say, yeah, that's evidence he's going to hack me. Please believe me, audience. Like, how stupid are his viewers?
An archive file containing everything Bad Empanada tweeted with 15 of his 22 suspended accounts. Now, you can't really get an archive file of someone else's Twitter. The only way you can get the Twitter archive file is by having access to the account, so that's very suspicious, isn't it?
Or he could just go to your public Twitter page and screenshot all your tweets. He's so desperate to sound like a victim here, when he's the one who falsely swatted Kraut.
He didn't want me to think that he had engaged in potentially criminal activity. Why did he make public posts implying that he was engaging in that activity? Public posts that clearly the Vienna police who investigated the case thought were suspicious enough to warrant an investigation and an interview.
What Bad Empanada is not telling you is that the police dismissed his complaint as having zero merit. He's essentially reading his own complaint and then acting like that somehow makes it more legit. It doesn't. This is only a small portion of how stupid this police report is. In short, the police closed the investigation because it was a massive waste of time. But this still allowed Bad Empanada to get all of Kraut's personal information. When the police closed the investigation, Bad Empanada wrote an email threatening Kraut to stay silent on it.
Hi, Joseph. I did not swat you. You gave me legitimate reason to believe that you were hacking my accounts in an attempt to divulge my private information and posted very public threats against me. I'm relieved to hear that you apparently denied that you were really engaging in this behavior. I will not apologize for taking basic measures to protect myself, like filing a police report. When you publicly made such statements, I would prefer to not have to talk about this publicly, as you will note that I have refrained from doing up until this point, because I legitimately never did any of the things you claimed I did to you and have no wish to embarrass or divulge any personal info by releasing any of the files I received from the public prosecutor's office on this case.
Or in other words, stay silent or I'm gonna post all of your personal information I got from the police. Crowd has vented a bit about this, so Bad Empanada has already started lying about the facts. Crowd is currently going around claiming that I swatted him. In reality, I reported him to the Vienna police because he was openly posting on Twitter about he was stalking / doxing me for months. The prosecutor thought the evidence I provided was suspicious enough to warrant an investigation, especially one about him illegally accessing my data. Crowd told me that the Austrian police are obligated to investigate every report, and the investigation came back saying Bad Empanada had little more than circumstantial evidence, that his accusations of violent threats can both in objective and subjective manner not be proven due to there not being any violent threats, that the accusation of libel or slander is not detectable. This video is so embarrassing by him. He is non-stop lying. And from what I've seen, Bad Empanada has no evidence. He's just wasting everybody's time to get a dox. Seriously, how is this guy not banned from everything? There is some good news though. Bad Empanada is apparently on the run. I thought it was just a meme when he posted, "Today's stream is delayed as I am fleeing to a different country." But it turns out this might be real as Ethan is monologuing his next move to track him down. Bad Empanada is on the run. He knows we're closing in. We suspected he had fled back to Australia, but upon further research and verification, he's actually fled to Uruguay. This information is probably shocking for him to hear as he went to great lengths to obscure his escape from Argentina to Uruguay. Bad Empanada, if you ever decide to return to Australia, will be immediately notified and a torrent of lawsuits will follow. You are easy to get in Australia, which is why you're doing everything to avoid returning. Why am I telling you this? So he looks over his shoulder every day. We are coming and we will win. You can run from us, but we will catch you and we will ruin you. Have a nice day.
Bad Empanada chimed in. Does it feel good to be hated literally everywhere you go? I mean, first of all, Bad Empanada, you're outcast from society. Like, we live in Los Angeles, California. You are on the run.
I mean, you know you're a piece of shit when even Hasan pulls up Bad Empanada's video of him doxing me and even he's surprised about what's happening.
Just like how I can tell you that WillyMacShow is William McConville, and he is getting married to a Yale. Now, I am not going to give you the full name of the person he's getting married to, but I can tell you she is Israeli, and she was assigned to him by...
Best to skip, to be honest. This is drama slop empanada content? Yeah, I don't really fucking give a shit about this.
Like, I appreciate that he stopped watching immediately, but why are we acting like it's just slop? I'd argue it's a bit more ill-intended than slop content. Hasan is a guy who thinks the subreddit LSF posting his stream clips quantifies as stalking and harassment.
If I was a smart person, I wouldn't be getting ritualistically humiliated by socially maladjusted freaks that are agoraphobic on a daily basis in a mass harassment campaign online. But I do that for a living.
But Bad Empanada posting my personal info? It's just drama slop. Then he watches them again a few days later.
Bad Empanada is a good example of this, where I think he's like a crazy person. He is chaotic good, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Please explain.
Like, think about how little little time I spend like shitting on Bad Empanada or whatever. Because like, I think he's coming from... Like, we have different methods. We have different tactics. We have different techniques.
His tactics are doxing, false police reports, false CPS reports, slandering people constantly.
But overall, we're working on the same side.
Hasan is literally saying he supports what Bad Empanada is doing. Like, Hasan clearly knows at this point who Bad Empanada really is. He literally had a one-on-one conversation with him where Bad Empanada said these people deserve to be harassed, meaning anyone who mildly disagrees with them.
Be mean to them. If they feel bad, if they feel harassed, honestly, great. I don't give a f***. Them. Each and every one of them. We need to be mean to these guys. We need to be assholes. They deserve it.
He knows the guy he's supporting is doing this and purposely promotes him anyway. A week passes and they're talking out about my docs and peddling lies about my wife to discredit valid criticism about them. They're just trying to assassinate my character.
You're just doing investigative journalism. They're saying Bad Empanada unearthed that. Is that true? I think Bad Empanada or somebody unearthed like the WillyMacShow's getting married to like an IDF lady or something, which makes sense. He was the guy who did the big expose on like you with the Al Ali bombing, hospital bombing, right?
Yeah. He's a brilliant political. probably one of the best minds
He
in
just cares
politics
about
right
the
now.
truth. So yeah, compromise.
Like, man, I just keep forgetting. You could justify anything as long as you're more pro-Palestine than the other guy. I want to end this video with a story. When I was at my most overwhelmed figuring out all the new logistics for the wedding, Ethan Klein actually hit me up and offered to organize security for it so everyone could have peace of mind and enjoy the day. He had no reason to do that. I don't know Ethan. I've made videos on him in the past, but he reached out anyway and lent a hand when he had no reason to. What got me was a text he sent me saying, "I got you, bro. Don't worry, your wedding will be perfect." It was, so thank you. Subscribe to the channel and buy a wallet. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon: Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Drain Bex, Necro Valley, The Confusing Opinion, Eddie Bizzle, Tis McFitz, Christopher H, Sentinel Music, Lucas Sif, ET Automatic, Snoopy Poop Doop 2, Amura Malbay, Roni Boo, Drew is Sharon, Clown Factory, Monkey D Luffy, Shura, Tiffany 2 Trill, and the mega homies: IGP, Your Taxi, Cyber Katie, Lore Reloaded, Papa Gut, Caden Lulin, BA Subway, Hawk and Load, Kitty Cat, Terox, John Manfredo, Lucas, and Katie Huck.